He had united half of Japan by the sword. He was 13 days away from ruling it all. And the man who killed him was one of his own most trusted generals, inside a temple, in the middle of the night, with nowhere to run. This is the true story of the Honnoji incident, the betrayal that changed Japanese history forever. By 1582, Oda Nobunaga was the most powerful man in Japan. In an age when the country had been torn apart for over a century by rival warlords, Nobunaga had done what no one else could. He crushed the old strongholds that defied him, broke the power of rival clans in battle after battle, and controlled more than a third of Japan's provinces. He was ruthless, brilliant, and paranoid in equal measure, a man who trusted almost no one, and for good reason. Because the final blow against him would not come from a rival on the battlefield. It would come from inside his own command. His name was Akechi Mitsuhide, one of Nobunaga's most capable generals, a man who had fought for him loyally for years. But the relationship had curdled. Some accounts say Nobunaga humiliated Mitsuhide in front of other officers. Others say Mitsuhide feared he was about to be discarded, the way Nobunaga had discarded other generals before him. Whatever the true reason, in June of 1582, Mitsuhide received orders that should have sent him toward the Western Front. Instead, he turned his soldiers around. 13,000 men, marching not toward the enemy, but toward Kyoto, toward the temple where Nobunaga was staying with only a small personal guard. At dawn on June 21, Mitsuhide's army surrounded Honnoji Temple. Nobunaga had perhaps 100 attendants and guards with him, nowhere near enough to hold off thousands of soldiers. When the first shouts and clashing steel woke him, he reportedly asked a single question: was this mutiny, or bandits? When he learned it was Mitsuhide, he said nothing more. He picked up his bow, then his spear, and fought until he was wounded. Then, rather than be captured, Nobunaga retreated into an inner chamber and set the temple on fire around himself. His body was never recovered from the ashes. The most powerful man in Japan was gone in a single morning. Mitsuhide had the capital. He had, on paper, won everything. But he had badly underestimated how fast the rest of Nobunaga's generals would react. One of them, a former peasant named Toyotomi Hideyoshi, force-marched his army back across Japan in a legendary sprint of over 200 kilometers in a matter of days. At the Battle of Yamazaki, Hideyoshi crushed Mitsuhide's forces. Mitsuhide fled the battlefield and was killed just 13 days after he had betrayed his lord, a reign so brief that history remembers him by a nickname, the 13-Day Shogun. Nobunaga's death did not end the unification of Japan, it accelerated it, in the hands of men he had trained himself. If you want the next chapter of this story, how Hideyoshi turned a temple betrayal into a bid for supreme power, subscribe, because that is exactly what we are covering next.